Hi, it's Jason from Let's Automate, and we're going to look at landing pages today. So we're going to be using a service called Carrd, C-A-R-R-D, which is a website that allows you to build really nice, beautiful one-page websites. So we're going to be using that. We're going to be using a template from there, and we're going to be integrating MailerLite, so just a subscription service in there. That could be MailChimp or any other mail subscription service that you might be using. So we're going to do that. I'm going to try and do that in under 10 minutes just to demonstrate how quickly you can set up a landing page using Carrd. So if that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned and we'll jump straight in. Okay, so we're logged into Carrd and you have 2-3 websites that you can use. If you want more than that, then you pay, I think it's £6-7, $10 a month for up to 10 pages. So it's really good value for money. So if we jump in, open dashboard, so we can see I've got a few sites here. And the one we're going to create today is it's the same as this one. So I'm starting a company to teach people to learn the Indonesian language. So it's just a simple landing page we can direct people to where they put their name and email address in. So it's very basic, very simple. We're just going to build that. So if we click on new site, and then we get presented with some templates, lots of different templates, great templates actually. They're all categorized at the top, so you can filter on. But for us, we're going to use a very basic one just to get going. So we're going to select this one. Okay, so this is, although they're one-page sites, you can add sections in there to make them look like two-page sites. So in this instance, it's a one-page site. When you fill the form in, you're then redirected to this page here, which just is a thank you for subscribing. So again, very simple. If we click on the outside here, we get the whole page and we get the properties for the page. So this is where we can change the color of the page. We can add an image to the back of the page. Very simple properties for the page. This instance, we're going to leave that. And then if we click in here, we have a container. Containers are just areas to put text components in or image components. So it just holds everything together. So you'd create a container by just clicking add container. It's just this box, and then you put stuff in the box. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 text fields and then a form. So we're going to start editing these. So if we click on here, so yeah, you just type the text in here. You can use these fields, I'll show you later, these symbols here, just markdowns, HTML markdowns, to change them to bold or italic or whatever you want. If we click onto here, we get the color options, the font options. So let's just go with Open Sans for this one. Also, I'd like this in uppercase, and I think, yeah, we can just convert that to uppercase easily in here. So we have that. We can change the size of it. Let's go with that. We can change the weight a little bit. Okay, so we've configured this text item here. We'll do another one here. So we click on this and we go back to here. We just paste the text in there for now. We'll sort the color and everything out later. Sign up to. Okay, so we have this in here now. Let's change that to Open Sans as well, actually. Okay, this one here. We'll just paste that text in there. Okay, we don't want this text here, so we're just going to highlight this text at the bottom here and delete that. Also, we've got this component down here, which is the list of icons. So we can configure them all here. So we don't want GitHub, we don't want email, but we can click on Twitter here. We can put our Twitter URL in there, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So I want that over here as well. So I'm just going to drag and drop that into here. Okay, we have some text here that we're going to paste in here. And this is where you'll get to see how these work here. So we have Selamat Datang. and we want to make that bold, so we just prefix and suffix with the 2 here, which is the same as here, and the same again with apakabar. We want that to be bold, so we just again prefix, suffix, and if we wanted this to be italics, for instance, we just do on as instructed here, and you get it in italics as well. We'll leave that there for now, like that. Okay, so we've got our text in here. We've got everything we need in here. We just go down. We're going to configure this page here now. So we go to thank you, and we're going to change this to the Indonesian word for thank you. And we're going to, in here, we're going to just put thanks in English. We're going to make this bold. And we'll make this italics again. Okay, so we've got that in there. We'll just put some text in here. Okay, so we have this. So now we're just going to add some colors to this. So let's start with this container. We're going to change the container color. So we'll click on container. We'll go to the little paint icon here, and we'll scroll down till we find the color here. And we're just going to replace that color with our color. Okay, so that's done. And then we're going to change the color of this here. Okay, so again we go to the paint icon and we change that. We're going to change this button here. So if we click on the form, we go to the paint icon and then we go to the button, and we have 2 colors here. One for hover and one for non-hover. So we just change it for both of them. And same down here. So we want to change this button here. Again. Change the button there. And the last thing we want to do is we want to add an image in here. So if we click the container here, click add image, and then we drag that and we put it just above here. We upload an image. Go for this one. Just modify these. Okay, so we have an image on here, and I would like also an image on here. So if we click on the container, image, slide it to where you want, upload, on this one here. Okay, so accept that. We also have this container down here which we no longer need. This, if you remember, was what had the icons in it. So we're going to highlight that, come down here and delete. We're going to say no, we don't want to preserve content. So if there was anything inside this container, we're going to say delete that as well. Okay, so the only things left to configure, we're not going to go through this, but you would just configure your Twitter and then your Facebook and your Instagram. You can add, there's a lot on here you can add. So we're not going to do that. We're going to leave that for now. And then just to configure the form. So if we go to the form, and then we can choose, we want to sign up. We could use MailChimp. We're going to use MailerLite, and then we just need to put our API key in there. So if you went to your MailerLite and you go to integrations, you can get your API from here. So you put the API in there, and then you put the group ID. So if you've got multiple groups within your MailerLite or MailChimp, then you put the group in there, so you know where these people are coming from. And then lastly, you've just got the redirect to the URL. So that can be a URL anywhere you want. You can redirect them. You could just display a message, so just a pop-up. But we're going to redirect to a URL. and the URL is going to be this here. And so the way that works, we have a section break in here, and it's called done, hashtag done. So then when we look at the form and we want to redirect, we just put the hashtag done. So it's going to redirect to this page here. And that's it, we're done. So if we just save that, let's put a description in there. Description, obviously you would have these better names than this. And this is where you would set up your URL. If you had your own domain, you could point to it, or you can just use a card domain. So that's available. So we're just going to publish that. Okay, and we're done. So if we look at the site now, we can just go here, we go to view site, and we have a simple landing page. We can take subscriptions, and then you would just, because this is not configured, it won't work, but you'd just be redirected to that page there. Okay, that's it. So that's just a basic landing page where you can take subscriptions. There are more complex ones. There's lots of nice templates you can get started with. This is just to show you how you can quickly get started using Card. So I hope that's been useful, and thanks for watching.